Hi everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to be making a few cards with a religious theme that would have actually been perfect for Easter, but it's too late for that unless of course you want to make Easter cards for next year. But I think that they would be perfect for sympathy cards or a card of encouragement or just because cards. For these cards, I'm using this absolutely gorgeous 6-inch square scrapbook paper from InLoveArts called Holy Cross, and it comes with 24 sheets and 12 different designs that you will fall in love with. And also from InLoveArts, I am using the Faith Word Cross cutting die set that I absolutely love, and I love that the word faith can be used by itself or to complete the cross. And I'm also using their Religion Love Word cutting die that is so pretty and has a cross and also says John 3:16. I have decided to use these 3 papers from that paper pack, and I think these are just beautiful. And I am going to be making 3 different size cards. So I'll be making a 6-inch by 6-inch square card, and I will be making a 5.5-inch by 4 1/4 inch A2 size card, and I will be making a 3.5-inch by 6-inch mini slimline card. And to cut the cross, I'm going to be using this brown textured cardstock. I don't know how well that's showing up on there, but it's a scrap from my bag of Coordinations cardstock that I've had for years and years and years, like 10, 15 years or longer, and I can't throw any of it away. So you know me, I like saving things and using scraps, and this will be perfect. I like the texture for the cross. And then I'm also going to be using some rose gold foil cardstock for the back layers and also for some of the die cutting. And another very old scrap that I have no idea where it came from, but I'm also going to be using that for one of the back layers and also some die cutting. And I think I'm also going to be using this piece of black cardstock. So the first thing I'm going to do is do all of my die cutting using my Sizzix Big Shot Switch Plus. And the reason I always love showing the die cutting process is because I want you to see how perfectly these dies cut the variety of papers and cardstock that I use. I think that's something important because not all cutting dies do a good job of cutting completely on the first try. And whether it's the InLoveArts cutting dies or the Sizzix Big Shot Switch Plus or the Magic Mat or a combination of all of that, I just think that it's important for you to see. This video isn't a tutorial. It is more of a quick process video, just showing you how I use the papers and cutting dies to create 3 beautiful cards in 3 different sizes. And you can see that I did the die cutting from the bottom layer since it will be covered up by the top layer. And I wanted you to see how I layered the word faith on this first card. It's just a simple technique that creates a shadow and helps the word stand out. And on the second card, I'm using the cross and the word faith together. And I wanted to make sure that you saw how the word faith fits onto the cross. It's almost self-explanatory, but to be honest, it took me a minute. So I wanted to make sure that you saw it just in case you're interested in getting this cutting die. This last card is pretty simple. There are no special techniques. All I did was add the layers, and then I just added the John 3:16 Love die cut. And I wanted to make sure that you saw the John 3:16 at the bottom of the die cut. That's one of my favorite things because that's one of my favorite verses. Okay, now I want to show you my finished cards with a little bit of embellishments I added to them. And I also wanted to say that you might hear the wind blowing because the wind is very loud today and I am doing my best to ignore it. Okay, so let's get started with this card right here. I love it. I love the John 3:16 down here. That is just so perfect. That is definitely one of my favorite verses. So that die is just one of my favorites now. And for embellishing, this butterfly looks dimensional. It looks like it is sitting on top of that paper. But it was actually part of the paper. And I just added some Nuvo crystal drops to that. And this is the Morning Dew, and it dries clear, as you can see. And so I just love the way that that turned out. And then over here on the cross, I added the little blue gem right there in the center. And talking about dimensional, that cross looks like it's sitting on top of the paper as well and not just a part of the paper. And I find that amazing how that works. But this paper is absolutely gorgeous, and I love all the dimensional effects, and I love the flowers. It is just such a pretty paper, and I love the way that this card turned out. Okay, so let's go to this card. Now this is the one that has the cross and then the word faith that fits right on it. And I just thought that was awesome. From the first time I saw it, I thought, oh my gosh, I love that. That is so creative. And so I added that to the front, and you saw how I did that because the letters fit right along with the shape of the cross. And then there was this butterfly already on here. So let me get that up there. And again, it looks dimensional, and I did add some of the Nuvo crystal drops to that. And then I happen to have a paper pad that I've used before that has butterflies in it. And so I cut these butterflies out because they matched. And I thought, oh, how perfect is that? And so I added Nuvo crystal drops to those as well and added them to the card. And I think that this is just so beautiful. I really do love these dies and these papers. And, just they speak for themselves, so you don't have to add a lot of embellishments, just these couple of butterflies, making it look like the 3 butterflies right there. And then we'll go to this card, and this one is the 6x6. I forgot to point out that this one is the A2 size, so it is 5.5 by 4 1/4. And this one is the mini slimline, so it is 3.5 by 6. And this one is 6 by 6 square. And on this one, I used the word faith all by itself. And I didn't want it to go across the, across the cross. I didn't want it to, cover up any of the beautiful image. Because look at that cross and the flowers. That is just absolutely gorgeous. And so I did it along the side, just the same direction that this goes, so that it looks like a cross right there. And I layered that with the pink, which I'd cut out of the pink that I used for the layer in the back. And I layered that on top of black. So I'd cut it out twice, as you saw me putting it together. And on this one, I also used a butterfly from that paper pad that I have that has butterflies. And I added that right there, but I did not use any Nuvo drops on this one. This one already had some gold foiling, and I decided to leave those two just the way they are. And I could have added the Nuvo drops, but I don't know. On this one, I just decided I didn't want to. I really liked the soft look of this card, and this is probably my favorite paper out of the whole pad. I mean, seriously, I think I'm going to frame the other one because it is just absolutely gorgeous. And over here, I'm going to be making this into a bookmark. I didn't do that today, but that was the piece that got cut off from this one. Actually, there you can see where the butterfly wing matches up right there. And I don't like to waste anything, especially when it's something as beautiful as this, and this will be perfect for making a bookmark. So things are not going to waste here. But those are the beautiful cards that I made that I couldn't wait to share with you, and thank you for hanging in there through this video to see the finished cards. And I'm going to put some pictures on the screen right now as the video is ending so that you can get a better look at them. As I said earlier, I think these would be perfect for Easter, and it wouldn't hurt to make Easter cards for next year. But as I also said, I think these are perfect cards for encouragement or sympathy or just because. Anyways, thank you all for letting me share these with you, and if you have fallen in love with these papers and cutting dies as I have, there will be links below in the description box so you can easily find them, as well as a 25% off discount code to InLoveArts should you decide to shop there. Thank you so much for stopping by, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.